Hey, yesterday I did the video explaining why, people who try to argue that the term once saved, always saved isn't in the Bible, how that's a stupid argument. Okay, and I got a couple trolls on my channel, and, you know, not just trolls, but just totally unsaved, deluded people. Okay, and one's really trying to, to suck people in into an argument. And this clown is Jacamo Jack. Okay. And look, my video is less than 10 minutes long. And, anybody who watches my video, would understand that, yeah, I thoroughly debunk, you know, the supposed intelligence of that argument of why, once saved, always saved isn't in the Bible. Okay. Well, I show that clearly the Bible teaches eternal security. Okay. And I give examples, such as in John chapter 3. Okay. But this guy's like, oh, I didn't hear the words once saved, always saved. Okay. And he's, basically mocking the fact that Jesus saves to the uttermost. And Kwan, I don't have a problem with this guy, but he just replies eternal life. And he's right. Right. And so this moron, Jacamo Jack, can't understand that eternal life is eternal security, which means once saved, always saved. And Kwan gives him John 3:16 and John 3:30, 3:36, and then this guy starts quoting some Catholic Bible, and then eventually, you know, goes on some rant about how Protestants just make stuff up or something. And personally, I don't consider myself a Protestant because I'm not trying to reform the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church is always garbage. But anyways, so this guy obviously seems like a Catholic. He's quoting a Catholic Bible, and out of nowhere he starts just attacking Protestants and accusing Kwan of being a Protestant. I guess accusing me of being a Protestant or whatever. And uh, and look, remember, this is a Roman Catholic. And his thing is like, well, I don't see once saved, always saved in the Bible. Okay. Well, what I don't see in the Bible is the Pope, the Vatican, the terms Roman Catholic, all the stupid rituals that the Catholics do. Uh, you know, I mean, there's a lot of Catholic crap that's not in the Bible. Okay. There's nothing about Peter being the first pope or whatever. So, uh, Jacamo Jack's he's a moron. I mean, full stop. Um, Now, let me show you some Bible, and then I'll get to another guy who came on my channel. And look, Jacamo Jack hasn't believed on Jesus Christ, okay? And John 3:18 says, he that believeth on him is not condemned, but that's unfortunately something that Jacamo Jack hasn't done. But he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. Okay? And we know that Roman Catholics believe in work salvation, and they think that there's no salvation outside of the Roman Catholic Church system. Okay? So he's condemned already because he have not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And look, John 3:15, Jesus said that whosoever believeth in him, right? Jesus talking about, referring to himself, right? That whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Only a fool looks at everlasting life and eternal life and thinks, well, I believe my salvation. Okay. Um, you know, I mean, just over and over again, everlasting life. Everlasting life. Okay. John chapter 3, Jesus said that the deeds of men were evil. Okay, so how can you be justified by your works if Jesus Christ said the deeds of men are evil? Um, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. Okay, just over and over again, everlasting life. Romans 6:23, for the wage of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord. It's a gift, okay? He's offering it to you for free. And you know what? Since I'm in John 6, let me read you this too. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone that would seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day. That's John 6:40. And the reason I want to talk about John 6:40 is because, some other guy came on my channel, and we'll talk about the Hebrews 10 in a bit, okay? But he also posted Matthew 7:21 with no context. And where is it? Here. Okay. Right. And this guy's name is The Problem Solver, which is so ironic. He's not solving anything, and he's got multiple problems. And this was his second comment. His first comment was Hebrews. But let me deal with this comment. Matthew 7:21, not everyone that says unto me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Well, here's the will of the Father. Okay, just John 6:40 is that you believe on the Son, and that's why I pointed out John 6:40. And I rebuked him, and Lucky D's been rebuking him, even with longer replies. And you go, sister, okay, because your replies are really good. And she even put more context of John, Matthew chapter 7. And look, the people that Jesus says he never knew you, that he never knew, are the people that were boasting about their many wonderful works. Okay. And who's always boasting about their works and telling you to work and do work and keep the commandments and all that? It's the people who believe in work salvation. Okay. It's not us. Okay. In Matthew chapter 7, like, these people aren't telling Jesus, well, Jesus said, it's once saved, always saved. I believed on you. And then he said, well, I never knew you. That's not what it says. No, they're boasting about their works. Okay, and salvation is not of works, lest any man should boast. Okay, now Hebrews chapter 10, verses 26 and 27. A lot of people take this out of context. He quotes them from I don't know what Bible version he used, but he quotes them from some Bible version. And then he puts a little heart and he says, keep the commandments. And Lucky D rebukes him, I rebuke him. And look, the context of those verses is if you reject Jesus Christ, then there's not going to remain any more sacrifice for sins, because you can't save yourself. The animal sacrifices don't do anything to save you. You can't do works to save yourself. And Jesus is going to be re-crucified. He's not going to go on the cross again. Okay, so if you reject the one sacrifice for sins forever, which was what Jesus Christ, did for you on the cross, if you reject that, then there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. And you're going to go to hell when you die. And, I wouldn't wish hell on my worst enemies. And, these two guys are enemies of the gospel, but I wouldn't consider them like my personal enemies yet, because I just interacted with this guy just now, and the other guy I haven't interacted with, but the guy was Quan, I think his name was. He was doing a good job at rebuking the guy and showing him some scriptures, and just the guy just wants to go on some war against Protestants and boast in his Catholicism or whatever, which again, the whole Roman Catholic system's not in the Bible, so it's just ironic that he's like, oh, show me one saved, now he's saved in the Bible, even though it talks about eternal life a bunch of times. And back to Hebrews 10 really quick, okay? Look, also in Hebrews 10, okay, before it talks about, the were made of no more sacrifice for sins, it talks about how Jesus Christ, how we're sanctified through the offering of the body of Jesus Christ once and for all. That's Hebrews 10:10. Hebrews 10:12, one sacrifice, talks about how Jesus Christ was offered as one sacrifice for sins forever. Of course, that's eternal security. And this is Hebrews chapter 10, okay? Which is also ironic that these people want to quote some verses in Hebrews 10 out of context, but they have, and look, these verses are before the verses they quote out of context, so this just proves to me that they haven't read